Welcome again to another edition of Stories of the Dark. I am Glen Clark, and tonight we're going to be talking about the Suicide Bridge in Pasadena, California. Should be quite the interesting topic. But to open the program, I'd like to open up by yesterday on Twitter and also on Instagram. I posted a post. It was quite a long one, kind of a personal story, and I hope you all enjoyed that. Sometimes it does help to get stuff off of your mind that, might be bothering you at that, whatever's going on in your life. I mean, I don't usually share a lot about my life. I never have. So this is a first for me. But as I talked about in my writings, that for probably 10, 11 years, I battled alcohol. I battled smoking, which I'm trying to work on. That's the hardest part. The alcohol I was able to stop really on my own. That was due to quite the scary experience that I don't really want to quite go into it right now on the program. Maybe at some point I will, but not right now. Smoking on the other hand, I mean, those of you who may do that, you know what I'm going through. That's a rough struggle, but I know I'll get there, and I've got a lot of support, and the one that I need to really thank is my producer who's here with me, watching me do this program. She's watched me do several of them. A few of them I've done in another area, but I've chosen lately to use a more quieter part of our little establishment that we're in right now. But I'd like to fully thank her for the work she does and for being support for me. She's helped me through a lot. So right now I'm gonna play a little music, and then we're gonna come back and go ahead and start the show. We'll talk about the Suicide Bridge in Pasadena, California. I'm Glen Clark. This is Stories of the Dark. Welcome back to Stories of the Dark. I am Glen Clark, and just an add-on to where I opened the show. I know I was going to start the actual show when I came back from break, but I thought of a few more things that I wanted to talk about. If any one of you out there, if you're battling alcohol, drugs, whatever, don't be afraid to reach out to a friend, co-worker, go to an AA meeting, go to an NA meeting. But don't be afraid. I know it's a hard thing to do because I battled with it for a long time, and it took me about 7-8 years to realize it, and now I vowed that I'm never going back to it again. And kind of a personal story. My girlfriend, producer, she's both. She kind of multitask with the program and everything else. Where we were living at a homeless shelter, which I won't say where, we had a friend of ours who he met somebody while there, and they both left together. Well, he had a past of alcohol abuse, and when he left, he went right back to it, and it ended up causing, at least that's the story I get, is that partially the alcohol abuse was what led to them separating. We still don't know the whole story behind that, but anyway, he became homeless again and living out on the streets near the shelter we were living at. And both her and I, we have tried talking to him, we've tried advising him, and everything we've done, he's totally gone against it. So, I mean, a person with that type of addiction will only get help when they want to. You can't force them. So like, if you have a friend or relative, whatever you may have that like that, you can talk to them all you want, but they're the ones that have to make that choice. You can't make it for them. So, that's just a little personal story, and this friend of ours, he's told us every line in the book, like, oh, he's gonna start going to truck driving school, to I don't know, that he had a job of working as a tile layer, or he was going to be, and then that never came about. But until he realizes he needs help, there's really nothing we can do for him, even though we have tried, and it's been very stressful to do, so just just to sum it all up, a person will only get help when they want to. That's just how it goes. So anyway, let's go ahead and start the program. Suicide Bridge. I'm gonna play a YouTube video, a couple of YouTube videos, and I've got some stuff I'm going to read that I found on the internet as well. The first one is from the poster here is, or the YouTube subscriber is Tony Baker Comedy, I believe is what it says. It's not a comedy video by any means, but he does kind of put a heavy. He kind of puts like a funny twist to it. That's the words I was looking for. But anyway, I'll play the video, then we'll take a break, come back, and I'll read a story, and we'll play another video. So here we go.
Oh, hey. Just out here at the Colorado Street Bridge.
Maximum volume.
The Suicide Bridge. All right, this bridge was built in 1912, but wasn't dedicated until December 13th, 1913. They say all that is bad luck on the number tip. Look at the craftsmanship, man. Old school. It's mad old looking. Look at the architecture, man. That lets you know it's old. Therefore, haunted. It's over 100 years old right now. You can't tell me it's not no ghosts out here, man. Once you hit 100, ghosts just come with the age. Even if nobody ever died here, it's 100 years. Ghosts are just gonna show up. Ghosts like old things. You know they say, when you walk this bridge alone, the spirits call you to jump to your death. The French call it l'appel du vide. It's the call of the void in English. And I'm about to walk this bridge alone. Let's see if they call me, man. They say you can see two particular ghosts out here. A man in wire-rimmed glasses and a woman in a white robe. So apparently, there was a lady named Myrtle Ward who wanted to commit suicide. She was gonna do a murder-suicide. So she threw her 3-year-old daughter off the bridge and then followed suit and jumped off. Miraculously, the daughter survived. Jean survived the fall thanks to some trees, but the mom didn't. So it was a murder-suicide going wrong. Thank God Jean survived, man. Imagine that. Somebody throw you over the bridge, you survive? Then it's your mom? Oh, it's heartbreaking stuff, man. Right down there somewhere. And they say Myrtle still roams around to this day. Now, other legends circulating about this bridge is that during the construction of the bridge, a construction worker fell off, landed in the wet cement, and his body is still in this construction to this very day. And what makes it so crazy, he's not the only one. They say there's 2 more construction workers within the cement to this day. And they say you can still see their ghosts roaming around. They probably got tool belts on, lunch boxes. They think they're showing up to work. 100 years working on the same project? I'd be asking questions if I was a ghost. Like, when are we gonna be done? And what does it look like to them? Is it completed? Is it incomplete? With their ghost vision? I don't know, man. I don't know if I would want to be buried where I worked. It depends on the job. Like, if my body is entombed in a comedy club building, that's not too bad. Because I do comedy for a living and I love what I do. But if I was working at McDonald's, just trying to make ends meet, I hated the job, then I fell over, landed in the wet cement in the parking lot, then I'm forever in the drive-through parking lot? Nah, I pass on that. But I be messing with people's orders, though. I be getting the orders out. I just be fumbling people's orders. Be like, no, man, you said 2 double cheeseburgers. That's not what I ordered. And I'd be like, I'd be a mischievous ghost, man. Why not? You only live once until you die and haunt. There it is. So this bridge, you can tell it's old school. You can tell it's been here for a while. You know what I mean? It's got an old flavor to it, a little light post. And when everything's old, you know it's haunted, man. We got houses, a community, a neighborhood being built right down here underneath the bridge. That neighborhood's gonna be haunted, man. That's gonna be a haunted neighborhood down there, man. I don't think they realize it. The construction workers down here building, it's gonna be ghosts all up and through the crib. This was Scooby-Doo. I dress in a ghost costume and start running around a construction site, get the prices lowered. And I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for these rotten kids and this dog. That's all Scooby-Doo was. That's all it was. Now imagine you're on this bridge by yourself at night, listening to your favorite tracks on your Apple Music or whatever you're listening to. All of a sudden a voice cuts in. It's calling you. It's telling you, jump. Come over the side. Come over here with us. Imagine that. And you're like, what the? You take your headphones off, but you still hear the call. Imagine that. What do you do? Huh. Do you jump? Do you follow the voice? Do you go over? Or do you just put the earbuds back in like it never happened? I don't know. You tell me. Imagine You're walking on the bridge by yourself. You notice there's a woman in a white robe up ahead. You think nothing of it. She's just standing there taking it in. You look over here, admire the beauty. You look back, all of a sudden the woman is closer to you. You stop walking, of course. When you turn around, you look. Every time you turn around and look back, she's closer to you. What do? What do you do? I know what I would do. I would walk backwards and keep watching her the whole time. That's how you do it so she can't creep up. But what if when you finally turned around and ran to your car, you get in, and there's the man with the glasses in the back seat of your car? What do? You tell me. Because the bridge might tell you another story. Just don't listen too closely to the bridge, or it might send you over. Think about that. Now, since they had suicides in 2017, they put these up to prevent people from making the jump, man. These are new fences. You can tell, look at them. Brand spanking new out here, man. So people still use this bridge as their final act. Man, tragic. I don't hear anything calling me. But I will say this, and this is no laughing matter, man. Suicide is serious business, man. And if you're going through the struggle, man, don't do it. Don't do it. If you're feeling down, watch my YouTube video. Hopefully there'll be a nice pick-me-up, man. The suicide, man, it's so final. Come on, man, don't give up. We want you out here. We want you around. Don't give up, man. So if you hear the call, don't jump over the side. If you hear the call of the void, call some loved ones and see what's going on, man. Don't give up out here.
Very good video there from Tony Baker Comedy. Have a look at his page and look at his videos and subscribe to it if you feel so inclined. I haven't watched all of his videos, but some of them look fairly funny and some look fairly serious. I kind of like the way he portrayed this bridge. So anyway, we'll take another little quick break, play a little music, and we'll come back. And I've got some stuff from the internet I'll share for you. It's stories about the suicide bridge, some of which have been covered in the YouTube video, but the stories on the internet seem a little interesting, so I will read those too. Be right back. I'm Glen Clark. This is Stories of the Dark. back to Stories of the Dark. I am Glen Clark, and we're talking about the Suicide Bridge in Pasadena, California. I've also heard that there's several other bridges that are reported to be haunted throughout the United States. San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge being one of them. I've also heard of another one in Ohio. I read some articles on that, but any of you know of any other bridges that are dubbed the Suicide Bridge or anything like that? Email them to me or send them to me on Twitter. My email is storiesofthedark1@gmail.com. That's storiesofthedark1@gmail.com. Or you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. I'm on all three, and you can comment on the video on the different websites with that information. However you want to do it, I'll get it either way. So anyway, the website I'm going to read from right now comes from weirdca.com. That's just all one word. Pasadena Suicide Bridge. When the beautiful bridge along Colorado Street over the Arroyo Seco River bed was built in Pasadena back in 1912, I'm sure the builders never thought it would acquire the nickname Suicide Bridge, a name it acquired way back in 1932. The Colorado Street Bridge curves over the riverbed, giving the bridge a rather unique perspective as you drive over it. Along with the lamps located at regular intervals, the bridge has a very romantic and old charm look from a distance. But this unique structure has seen over 100 people commit suicide from it, plummeting the 150 feet to the ground below. The first suicide was on November 16, 1919, and nearly 50 of the suicides occurred during the Great Depression from 1933 to 1937. Other reports predicts that 95 people committed suicide from the bridge between the years of 1919 and 1937. The Pasadena Central Library has 3 thick binders on the bridge filled with all sorts of interesting articles and historical facts on the structure. The bridge underwent a $27 million renovation in 1993, during which it received a suicide barrier. This has reduced the number of suicides, although the bridge still retains its nickname. Along with the suicides, of course, came the ghosts. Several spirits haunt the bridge, including a man with wire-rimmed glasses and a vanishing woman in a long flowing robe. She is often seen standing atop one of the parapets, vanishing as she throws herself off. Even below the bridge, ghosts are said to walk the riverbed. Strange sounds and cries echo throughout the dark nights. Misty forms have been reported, and animals act strange in the area. Homeless camping under the bridge have regularly reported seeing ghostly figures and hearing mysterious noises. A haunt wandering over the bridge whispers her fault to anyone who runs across, although no one knows who he means. Urban legends, of course, surround the history of the bridge. During the bridge's construction, a worker apparently toppled over the side of the bridge and fell into wet concrete below. He was, according to rumor, left to die in quick-drying cement, entombed forever. Of course, he now is a ghost haunting the bridge. Some legends state that he's the reason the bridge has claimed so many lives, that his ghost calls to those in crisis, urging them to come to the bridge and take their own lives. Another story surrounds a suicide attempt that happened on May 1st, 1937. Myrtle Ward, a despondent 22-year-old mother, took her 3-year-old daughter Jeanette to the bridge that morning. One story says she supposedly had been left by Jeanette's father. Myrtle walked up to the side of the bridge and threw her baby girl Jeanette off, and then immediately jumped over herself, apparently so they could be together in the afterlife. In a remarkable twist of fate somehow, the baby landed in thick branches of a nearby tree, slowing her descent until she came to the ground mostly unharmed. But her mother Myrtle plummeted to her death. She now is also rumored to haunt the bridge, still searching for her baby. Another unusual suicide was in 2008 when a man who had stabbed and killed both his son's mother and maternal grandmother went to the bridge soon after the murders and jumped. It appears that both above and below, the spirits of the dead long claimed by the bridge still linger, doomed to wander the bridge where they took their lives. Below the bridge is a maze of streets and other bridges. There are stairs going down from somewhere near the center of the bridge, but there's nowhere convenient to park underneath. A slide or spillway also lies under the bridge, at least two. One goes through a tunnel, and local kids have referred to it as the slide and spray painted it with Angel of the Slide. Local kids would go there in the 60s and 70s and slide down the spillway, either sitting down or standing up. Special thanks to Mike Zins, who has provided us with a photo of the spray paint and the entrance to the slide. And on the website, you can go take a look at that. It's again, it's weirdca.com. That's weirdca.com, and they do have a small little photo of what I just talked about. And continuing on, Colorado Street is now called Colorado Boulevard. On the west side of the bridge, exit Highway 134 at Orange Grove. Go north 1 block, turn right onto Green, then right on Glen, which will immediately end near a grassy park-like area. Park, walk to the left to the bridge to drive across the bridge, leave Grand, head back towards 134 on-ramp, and actually take the 134 west on-ramp and veer towards the left and onto the bridge instead of right and onto the highway. Additionally, the bridge was part of historic Route 66 from 1926 through 1940. And that ends that. And Route 66 actually does run through the area that I'm from. It runs all the way across the country. Although one day maybe we'll travel it, maybe one day I won't. It all kind of depends on how things go. I have another website that my producer found, for producer/girlfriend, you know who she is by now, so that she found for me, and it pretty much says the same as I just read, but I'll go ahead and read it anyway. It's actually pretty interesting. So it comes from backpackerverse.com. That's backpackerverse.com/Pasadena Suicide Bridge. And there's also a slash at the end of that too. So, the hair-raising stories of Pasadena's Suicide Bridge. Driving on the 134 freeway while in Pasadena, California, you can't but be amazed by the spectacular view of the Colorado Street Bridge. Curving over the riverbed, it flaunts a very romantic and old charm. It is more irresistible at night as the lights make it appear more alive. However, once you're on the bridge, you'll notice a shift in energy and you'll feel the hair on your back rise. This is because of the dark history behind this bridge and which is what earned it the name Suicide Bridge. How the Colorado Street Bridge got its other name. Thousands of people have jumped off the suicide bridge since the first suicide on November 16, 1919. A considerable number of suicides has especially been reported during the Great Depression from 1933 and 1937, which is around the time the bridge gained its infamous nickname. If you ever want to read more about the people whose lives were lost there, you can go over the 3 thick binders documenting articles and historical facts at the Pasadena Central Library. Despite the bridge undergoing renovations to reduce the number of suicides, it retains its nickname. The hauntings of Suicide Bridge. The most famous ghost haunting the bridge is that of one of its construction workers. Legend has it that a worker toppled over the suicide bridge and fell into wet concrete. So that was mentioned in the last website, but, so continuing on, it talks about how legend has it that he's the reason why the bridge has claimed so many lives, and then it also talks about the ghost of Myrtle Ward and how she jumped off the bridge with her daughter, and the baby did survive, but as we know, the mother did not. So continuing on down near the middle bottom part of the website, it goes, aside from these two, numerous spirits of people who perished there can be seen. 2 that has been witnessed frequently are that of a man with wire-rimmed glasses. See, it's getting late at night here anyway. And a woman in a white robe standing on the parapets as she prepares to jump off the bridge. That would scare me, first of all. I would probably try to help her, and then she jumps off and realizes it was a ghost that jumped off, so that would scare me. However, not all of the spirits at Suicide Bridge are peaceful. Many people report hearing cries and screams while wandering on the bridge. Members of the Supernatural Investigation Unit have also come across hostile entities that threatened and growled during EVP sessions. Therefore, head there with caution and don't try conducting a Ouija board session, or else you put yourself at risk of possession. That is true. And plus, don't go there, late at night if you don't know what you're doing, because you could actually get yourself hurt, and we don't want that. I don't want any of my listeners getting injured or otherwise hurt because they hear this podcast and they're like, oh, let's go out and try this, and you go late at night and you end up getting yourself hurt or killed. That's not why I'm doing the program. I do this program to more of education, try to educate and also entertain at the same time. And also, again, if you do a paranormal investigation, especially at night, always ask permission. Let your local police department know what's going on. That way, if they come by and they see a bunch of guys walking around with tape recorders, flashlights, what have you, you can explain to them why you're there and you won't get yourself in trouble. So anyway, I'm going to take another quick break, and then we'll come back, and I've got one more video to play for you, and then we'll end the program. So anyway, I'm Glen Clark, and this is Stories of the Dark. welcome back to Stories of the Dark. I am Glen Clark, and the last video I want to play for you concerning the Suicide Bridge comes from a subscriber, Mace Ravenwolf. Go have a look at that one and check out some of their videos and subscribe if you like. Anyway, this one is called Suicide Bridge, California Demon. So I haven't quite watched all of this video all the way through, so I'm not sure what's all going to be on there. But if there is any bad language or anything that does come on there, I apologize for that. So I'm going to say listener discretion on this one. So here we go.
Alright, so we're going to try a spirit box session. We got an external speaker this time, and before we came out here we actually went to the library to check out some of the names of people that jumped off. For a lot of reasons, the police did not release some of these names for family's sake, for intensive purposes. At the time they jumped, they were still investigating because suicide is considered a murder. And so when you do that, it's considered a homicide. And the investigations and stuff like that take place, they don't release the names until they get the next of kin. And with about, 100-something people that jumped off this thing, we don't have 100 names to call off. But we do have some of the more prolific ones, which are like the lady that threw her kid off the bridge.
That's Myrtle Ward.
Myrtle, yeah.
She's 22 years old, died May 1st in 1937. She jumped because of she lost her job and she didn't want her child to grow up during the Great Depression.
See, isn't that amazing?
She loved her daughter so much that she didn't want her to live in that world at this time. So, I mean, we can question it, but, you know, these are things that, unfortunately...
With the state of mind that these people were in, it's hard for us to rationalize what they did. So we're going to turn this on now. All right, if there are any spirits up here with us that would like to communicate with us right now, would you please tell us your name?
Andrew? Okay, Andrew, we can hear you, okay? We can hear you.
Is there anybody else up here with us?
Tiffany? You said Tiffany. I heard that loud and clear.
If there are any spirits here with us that would like to communicate, please tell us your names. Let us know you're here.
You're hearing all this, right? Oh, I feel something coming right now. This is crazy.
Okay, basically in the video what they're doing right now is just showing like some pictures, and there was some different text writing they put.
Yeah, it's right here. Okay, so I have goosebumps already forming right here. So which means there is a presence near us right now.
Okay, this is you.
Moving around.
This is you. This is you. Got the blue light thing in front of it.
Okay, so I gotta move the blue light away from it.
Yeah, but watch this. There's you again. What the fuck is that?
Oh, that's the
All foggy and shit. That's you right before I took it. That's you. That's you.
And you didn't move, right?
No, I've been sitting there taking pictures. And then there's you again. What the fuck?
Oh Lord, are you here with us right now? Yes, she is. Myrtle, do you know that your daughter is still alive? Your daughter, Jean, is still alive. That's what I said. She's trying to help me. You hear that shit? I want everybody to know what happens when you jump off this bridge and end your life. What happens? Please tell me, do you guys remember us? Do you remember us from July 27th when we were here? Yes. Yes. Awesome. Okay, good. You remember us. Now I'm going to ask you another question. Who's the Casper-looking dude that tried to attach itself to me? He's not welcome to do that this time either. As a demon, say yes.
What's your name, demon? Tell me your name. What do you want me to do, demon? Tell me. Fall?
Yeah, please do.
Who sent you here? Why are you on this bridge? Satan?
Wow, that was a class A.
Well, Satan's a punk, I hate to tell you.
Yeah,
And you're
Jesus
welcome
is
to
the
go
man.
back.
I can't believe he said that. It's insane.
And that was the end of the video. The last part of the video just had some more text writing in it. But that does sound pretty interesting and looked interesting just sitting here watching the video. I personally want to try using the AM/FM radio, it's called ITC communication. I actually there's several apps that you can download on your smartphones that will allow you to do that, but it does look pretty interesting. I've never done that. I've always done the traditional voice recorder type EVP, which we are going to do an experiment here later tonight, where we just set a recorder in one of the rooms and just record for probably 7 or 8 hours, and then break it all down, see if we got anything. So if by chance we do get something, I'll definitely play it here on the program so you can all hear it, and maybe do a whole other EVP show, somewhere down the line. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up the program. It's been my pleasure hosting for you. This has always been a dream of mine to do. I wanted to do this for many years, and now I'm getting my chance, and I love doing the program, and I certainly love all of you listeners and all my new followers on Twitter. Thank you for being a part of that. And you can follow me once again on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Email me at storiesofthedark1@gmail.com, storiesofthedark1@gmail.com, and also don't forget to look up BlakCircleGirl. Check out her stuff that she sells online. You can also follow her on the same Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and she also will have links to all of her different shops that she I'll also have links to all the websites that I read from tonight. Also, thank you to freestockmusic.com for the music you hear. Totally copyright free, and so you won't get in trouble for using those on your own podcast if you want to. Just don't forget to give them a shout out. So, anyway, to wrap up the program, I am Glenn Clark, and this has been Stories of the Dark.